Good afternoon, good evening around the world. This is Doug Brunke. I'm the founder and CEO of Global Chamber, and I'm here with Naji Mubarak. Naji, welcome. Would you like to say just a word or so about Outerpond and any work that we should know about?
Well, thank you so much. Basically, Outerpond is a B2B platform that allows Lebanese service providers to feature their profile online. And we try to seek what we call service seekers, which are basically foreign-based companies. They log on to our platform, they create their own free account, and they feature their needs. So it could be an opportunity in terms of servicing anything. It could be an advice in terms of, let's say, accounting law or anything like this. It could be the development of a website, a database, or it could be also all the way to finding partners in Lebanon or even investing in startups in Lebanon. So I will leave the link of Outerpond. What I would like to say is that so far, I mean, we've been working together for the past couple of months. I believe Doug and Caesar and Global Chamber is doing a fantastic job trying to promote global export, global trade. And by the way, I mean, this is the best way of shrinking the world and going beyond, natural frontiers and boundaries. So we're very happy to be here. And the 6 companies that you're going to see are going to show you what Lebanese business women and businessmen are capable of. So the floor is yours. Thank you so much.
Fantastic. Thank you for all that you do and for the inspiration that you provide to these companies.
Thank you.
I think it's great that we can start with an inspirational company, particularly inspirational one, and an amazing woman, Margaret Jabara. I believe are you in Beirut today, and will you be presenting about art cages?
Yes, I'm in Beirut today, and Ruba also is in Egypt. We are each presenting our share, and Ruba will start just now.
Okay, fantastic. You are a dynamic duo. We look forward to hearing from you. Please go ahead.
Yes, thank
Welcome,
you.
Ruba.
Thank you, Doug. Thank you very much. Hello, everyone. I'm Ruba Al-Amin, founder and executive director at Art Cages. And Margaret Jabara is the executive deputy director. Today I'm in Egypt because actually we're promoting Art Cages in Cairo, Egypt, in a concept store that which opening is today. And so I'm quite a little bit stressed and busy with the event. I'm sorry I'm saying this from now because I'm gonna, once we're done with the Q&A, I'm gonna have to leave this virtual event. I'm sorry about that in advance, but because I have to go to the opening where we are displaying our products. Now moving on to this current event, thank you again for having us over. Art Cages started as a hobby in 2008. I was back then a chairperson and design educator at a local university. I was asked to design a centerpiece for a friend. She was participating in an event, and that's where the idea of upcycling a cage came up. And it has to do also with where my mind was at back then. I was very much involved with reading books about mindfulness and going into specific disciplines in my life. And mindfulness is all about, I discovered that it's all about watching your thoughts, watching eventually your actions, because our actions are based on how we are thinking, how we are perceiving ourselves and others and situations, etc. And I felt that I was personally imprisoned in a cage due to social conditionings that we've inherited in our society and our cultures. And I've also noticed that humans in general are living in a cage, and how can we liberate ourselves from it? This was one path that I have personally experienced and still experience, and this is basically what I'm trying to also promote through Art Cages. And the way to do that was turning this hobby into a social enterprise when I resigned from my full-time job in 2017. And recently Margaret, she joined our team. And we have really succeeded in the past few months to receive 2 major grants. Margaret will go into the details later on. And because I wanted to send a message of liberty over captivity, لا للأسر نعم للحرية in Arabic, we had to think of the retail part. So that's how Art Cages eventually evolved in the past 4 years in becoming a retail, a business, a social enterprise. And part of the proceeds eventually are donated to NGOs. We have supported NGOs that deal with children with cancer, patients with multiple sclerosis, a lady herself who has cancer and who wrote a book called The Sense of Tumor, Raquel Bahnam, and also Lebanese Autism Society, which deals with autistic children. So that's basically Art Cages in brief. And now we're also working on producing home and fashion accessory, a home and fashion accessory line, which will also become a global brand thanks to such exposure, for example, today, and future ones that we are also working on. And the fact that I'm also here in Egypt to promote Art Cages, and next week in Dubai at Expo 2020, Margaret and I will be there. And this is it. So Margaret, please, the floor is yours.
Okay,
Margaret.
thank you, Ruba.
Margaret,
Yes.
so just as a time check, have 1 or 2 minutes.
Yes, okay, thank you, everyone. So I will share my screen. Okay. 1 minute, what's happening? Okay, so as Ruba mentioned, that we are a design and eco-oriented social enterprise, and our mission and our message is liberty over captivity. So basically everything we produce, we do, and we live in this way. So we upcycle cages from tools of captivity into light fixtures and wall-mounted pieces. We design social awareness goods as in home and fashion accessories. And we donate part of our proceeds to NGOs, mainly tackling human rights, animal rescue, and environmental issues. And also we decorate events. We already have decorated major events in Lebanon and participated in exhibitions also. And now I will showcase our products, the upcycled cages, starting with the beaded line, which was launched in 2008. You can have a look here on the beaded cages, followed by the industrial line of upcycled cages, which was launched in 2017. And the crafty line, which was recently launched in 2021. And the floral line, where we have dried flowers inside the upcycled cages, also in 2021. It's a huge success. And we are exhibiting those cages in specific in Egypt and in Dubai next week. And here are some samples of our social awareness goods, the home. Actually, those are the keychains. You are seeing keychains. And those are sold out items. Actually, we have sold previously hundreds of products, from poofs, as you can see, soaps, coasters, and earrings. As you can see, those are all sold out. And those are planters, MDF planters, also sold out items. And those are samples of previous candles that we have produced in collaboration with other SMEs and other local designers in Lebanon. And this is a closer picture of a concrete-based candle with upcycled, recycled plastic.
It's amazing, Margaret. May I ask, because we need to wrap up, how can we help you? What help are you looking for?
Okay, now we are looking into, just let me move to the slide that, okay. Okay, so our major achievements were mentioned previously, that we won 2 grants. So those 2 grants will help us in creating more sustainable products and creating more revenue, so that we will be able to expand our business in Lebanon regionally and globally, mainly in UAE, Egypt, and UK. Those are our top priority countries. We will be participating in major events there and pitching for angel investors and business opportunities, so that we establish art cages in those countries ultimately, and we can recruit more team members. And basically that's it, so that we will be able to sustain ourselves as art cages and collaborate more with SMEs, other artists, other whomever who believe in our mission of liberty over captivity.
Fantastic. Thank you very much. We'll save questions for the end period.
Yes.
We have 5 more companies go through, and so over 5 minutes each, we'll probably only be left with about 15 minutes of Q&A. So definitely put your questions, folks, in the chat area, and we'll process those hopefully along the way. Let's go to our next speaker. Thank you, Margaret, and thank you, Ruba. Good luck with.
Thank you. I'm sorry I have to leave the event. Thank you very much.
Good luck tonight. Take care.
Thank you. Thank you.
Shall we go next to Rima Nazar with Jardin D'Eden? Are you available, Rima?
I am available. Hi.
Beautiful.
Am I able to share my screen?
Yes, please go ahead. I think Margaret.
They need to close the back screen, Doug.
You cannot share screen while the other participant is sharing.
Here we go.
Voila. Share.
Voila.
I think it's that one. No. Sorry, it's not that one. It's just give me a second.
No worries, no pressure. While you're looking for that, very impressed. 100% natural products, handcrafted in Lebanon. Include soaps and other offerings. 100% free from chemicals. So I'm a chemical engineer originally, and so that's an intriguing debate, right? Because everything is healthy chemicals.
Okay. I have to download it. Give me 1 second. I don't know why this happened. They say technology fails you when you need it the most. So.
Okay. Well, would you like to maybe just talk?
I'll share my screen in a second. Perfect. But I'll start. So my name is Rima Nazar. I'm originally from Tripoli, north of Lebanon. We are 2nd generation in the business, Jardin D'Eden. It was called Saboon Nazar, so that's soaps of the Nazar family. Our father started the business in 1965 in Tripoli. He used to make soap, mainly soap. The product was soap made from 100% natural ingredients. What we did, so I'm a filmmaker originally. I worked as a filmmaker for 10 years. My other sister is an architect, and the third sister is a transportation engineer. And after our father passed away in 2001, we decided to continue with his legacy, but we used to live in London at that time. So we started the business from scratch in London. We renamed the company and called it Jardin D'Eden, or Gardens of Eden. And what we did is that we took our father's recipes and we developed them. We introduced essential oils to that, keeping it all natural. And we added more products, like we do soaps, body scrubs, body butters, body massage oil, candles. We won a competition with the Mayor of London at that time, Boris, who is the Prime Minister now. We won a business competition. They gave us a shop for free, free rental for 3 years, which is amazing for small business. So we turned that place into a workshop where we do all the production at the back, and the front was like a retail shop. We moved to that shop in I think 3 months time or so. We had a phone call from Harrods asking us for a meeting. So to keep it short, we started selling at Harrods. In the first 2 years we sold at Harrods, we were nominated #1 selling British company on the floor, and the second international. The first company was American, and then we started selling at Whole Food Market, Planet Organic. The whole idea behind starting this business was first to keep the legacy of our father as sisters, and then what we wanted to do is be part of the community, because you know everything we're learning from our father, and we learned from being in London, from the new market we were discovering, is to share this knowledge with the community around us. So it was it was a business, but then we wanted to be as a social enterprise as well. We worked a lot into helping small businesses develop their business in cosmetics and other businesses as well. In 2016, I moved back to Lebanon, to Tripoli. We renovated our father's business, our father's factory, sorry, and we started production. We started production in 2017. The main work we were doing was to I think I'll share my screen now. Let me just.
You'll only have about a minute or two, so
okay,
I think
so that's fine. Maybe I'll share my screen, my presentation later. So what we did is that we worked with corporate gifts. I'll share some photos at a later stage. Okay. We work with other craftspeople, like we do soap. Can you hear me?
Yes, yeah. we can.
Okay. So yeah, and we worked with other craftspeople, like people who do copper, people who do wood making, and who do blown glass. I'll share some photos later. And then after the the economic situation hit Lebanon, we kind of changed the way we do. We changed the way we do business. We started selling more with retail, and the main thing we're trying to do is we were importing all our ingredients from our main retailer in UK. Now what we want to do is start making like distilling our essential oils, and I just yesterday received all the equipment that we need for that.
Wow.
So we're gonna start distilling our own essential oils, and the main idea is to start exporting those essential oils. So I think my main interest in this gathering is to try to focus on exporting the main ingredients we're gonna start making, like essential oils, and the products that we do.
Okay, I would. In terms of wrapping up, I would say maybe two things. How do people get a hold of you, and then how can we help? What are some of the things that we should be, what kind of help do you need in the next step?
So I'll send the presentation now. It has our contact details. That's okay. For how to get in touch with us. Perfect. But the other main thing is we're looking into start exporting. So we're interested in looking into finding new markets for our products. That's the main thing. Whether with the essential oils that we're gonna start producing, or with the products that we make, that the candles, soaps, and stuff. Or the last one is the corporate gifts that everything is handmade in Tripoli, north of Lebanon.
Amazing. Congratulations on that. Professor Roberto Ansis is asking about your email address. I'm guessing it's in the presentation.
It is. I will send all the details once we finish.
Thank you, Rima.
When you say you're going to send it, are you sending it in the chat area or are you sending it by email or both? Okay, very good.
In the chat as a PDF.
Hi,
Okay.
hey, Doug. Doug, just interrupting for a second. I'm in contact with Nagy and we're planning to send a follow-up email with all the presentations and the email address.
Okay.
Okay.
Good, good.
That would be great.
Then I'll send it to Cesar and then they can share it with you.
That would be perfect. What we'll do as a wrap up, as Cesar mentioned, we'll write a blog post, and this is being recorded, so it'll be a YouTube video, so it'll all be available. And then for all the attendees, we will send any materials like your presentation out, presuming you want it out, and probably you do. So really interesting business, a fascinating story. Thank you so much for sharing. Really appreciate it. Yeah,
I think
yes,
Khatar and Associates are supposed to be next, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay, and sorry, who is next?
Jihan Khatar, the law firm, Khatar and Associates. So Jihan, the floor is yours.
Okay.
Hello, hi everyone. My name is Jihan Khatar. I'm going to try to share a screen now with the name of our law firm in the background. I don't know if can you see it?
Yes, we can.
Okay. So we are a law firm established in Beirut. I'm a partner with Qatar Associates, and this law firm was, as you can see, was established in 1958 by my father-in-law, who was the previous president of the Beirut Bar Association. And so today we are a general practice, and we do litigation, arbitration, successions, family law, contracts, corporate law, company law, etc. So actually, the litigation aspect covers, like, it's general litigation covering real estate, rental law, enforcement in court, etc. Family matters cover civil and religious divorce, adoption, prenuptials, postnuptials, curatorship, etc. Concerning successions, we have a big diaspora outside Lebanon, Lebanese diaspora, who own land in Lebanon and who immigrated over the years to the US and to everywhere. But a lot of the times they hire our law firm to if a family member dies, and in order to do the succession. So we have a lot of contact with, let's say, the diaspora in the US, a lot of Lebanese with the people or Americans with Lebanese descent, like someone in the family dies and they want a lawyer in Lebanon to take care of the succession. So this is one of the contacts we have with the outside, if you want, the international market. Another way we are like connected to the international market, we do company formation, mergers and acquisitions, sometimes just locally, sometimes with an international element. Our clients are local and international, and we do all kinds of contracts, like including FIDIC construction contracts, which are also sometimes like the projects are being implemented in the Arab world, in Jordan, etc. And we have correspondent offices in several European countries and in the Gulf region. I'm a Harvard graduate. I graduated from Harvard with an LLM degree in corporate law. My partner and husband is also a Harvard graduate. He did an international finance concentration. And that's about it. I mean, I'm open to questions later on.
One quick question regarding the countries that you cover.
Yes.
Is typically the work that you're doing nearly always have a Lebanon component, and are there other countries where you specialize or have support?
We have support from other countries, because we have correspondent offices outside Lebanon, like we have correspondent offices in France, in England, in Syria, etc., in Qatar, in Dubai. And we, if there's an international component and we need their assistance, we like contact them, and we collaborate together.
I see. Very good.
Yeah.
We actually do have time for questions. So does anybody have a question for Jihan? Just unmute yourself and please go ahead. Naji, while we're waiting for a question, is there anything else that you would like to add? How long have you known the firm, and what else can you tell us about the firm?
My father used to be a lawyer. He was, very close to the founder of Qatar Associates, Jihan's father-in-law. So I wouldn't be the best person to be asked that question. But evidently, you've seen the presentation. When you see that we have such talent, not because they went to Harvard, but because they came back to Lebanon, there is still actively defending justice and also doing essential business dealings between Lebanon and various countries. So it means that, again, you've only seen 3 snapshots of Lebanese entrepreneurs and business lawyers. And this is what Lebanon is all about, in fact. If you go beyond what people think about Lebanon, because we have bad press nowadays, you've got these ladies, and now you're going to see a few gentlemen also coming along, who truly represent the heart and soul of what Lebanon is all about. Multicultural, open to the world, very well educated, and most of all, it's not about resilience. It's about being hard workers, creative, and innovators. So that's all I wanted to say.
That sounds great.
Yeah, I had a question, Doug, if you still have time, otherwise I can ask for the end.
A quick question? Sure.
Yeah. Jihan, first of all, it's very nice to meeting you, and congratulations for your degree at Harvard. Not an easy place to get a degree. 2 topics come to my mind where they are very important in international business. One is the protection of the prouder than one designs, called the copyright or trademarks, and the second one is licensing. A few words on your experience on these 2 topics.
Yes, we have experience in registering IP rights, etc., and we also have experience in litigation. We have a few cases usually which are ongoing that deal with issues related to IP rights, etc. And with licensing, it's the same. It's the same. We do have experience in this aspect of the. Yeah, we do have the experience in this aspect of the law.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Appreciate it. We're going to move on. Really appreciate your succinctness and how you presented, and definitely what I would suggest, since Naji, we're through 3 and we've got 3 more left, and we have about 25 minutes. We may go over in time, so we do like to try to stick to the hour, but in this case, especially if there are a lot of questions, we'll likely go over. So please put that into your planning, but we will try to kind of keep it tight in terms of the rest. Naji, who would you like to speak next?
Doug, can I get it's Alice here. I also posed a question, so maybe a recommendation that if anybody has questions, they can just post it in the chat if we don't get to it.
Okay, that sounds good. Thanks, Alice. Appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Naji, who would you like to have go next?
The sequence is Joe from Merlun Group, and then we'll have Serge from Albert Massaad, and at the end we'll have Rafi from Equality.
Okay, very good.
So Joe, you're up.
Yeah. Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, depending on your location. I think to be able to share my screen, probably Jihan should, okay.
There we go.
Sorry. Let me see how to get rid of this.
No, it's okay.
We're all set, Jihan.
How do I do it? How do I do this?
No, Jihan, it's
Okay.
Jihan, we're
It's fine.
okay. Go ahead.
Okay.
Go ahead, Joe.
Let me try to do this. Is it fine now?
Yes.
Or it's not fine yet?
It's fine.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, great.
Okay. Naji, thank you. Doug, thank you for Global Chamber to giving us this great opportunity to present actually to the world. I see there are many attendees, so I don't know where you are all located, but I would like to thank you for this great opportunity to present Merlun Group. Merlun Group is celebrating its 25th anniversary next month, actually. So it's quite. It's back to 1997 when I founded this company, and I'm still running it till now. And I will be glad to share with you our presentation. Okay. And so could you please confirm if it's you can see it?
It's looking good. I particularly like the Global Chamber logo. Thank you.
Welcome. So Merlun Group, as I said, was founded in 1997 and focusing mainly into what we say, all what is related to brands and consumer engagements and retail spaces. So we divided our activities into two main categories, one being related to design and decoration, and the other one related to promoting brands and doing mystery shoppers and brand auditing. So I will go through the details of what we do in the next slides. We have quite experience working globally because we are part of a network that is spread into 18 countries around the world, including USA, Canada, and Russia, and Thailand, China, whatever. So those are companies that used to do business related to in-store communication, and we share a lot of projects, ideas we produce. We share logistics health support and sometimes other combinations. So we are also part of the Mystery Shopper Association worldwide, and we are socially audited by SEDEX. This is a requirement for major companies that mainly multinationals that would like to work with suppliers. So in terms of design services, we cover quite a lot, a wide range of designs, from graphic design to 3D design to rendering in architectural designs and concept designs. So I will show you some examples. I think it will be more relevant. In terms of graphic design, we worked with NGOs to support Lebanese actually products and Lebanese brands. So we did for them logos and brochures and flyers. So it was a project that was done for one of the international NGOs that wanted to support local companies, and that asked us to help into coming with some graphic design from logo to brochures. We also do packaging design, and go from design to production, which is in that case printings. So from the graphic design side, we also do the 3D design for major projects. As you can see here, it was an example for a stand, a modular stand for one of the major banks. But we also do rendering, and this is a project that we did as subcontractors for a Belgium company that did a 2D or AutoCAD design, and they wanted us to have them rendering the project in order to be able to present it to their clients and to make it more attractive. So this is where we did this rendering project for them. We also do some concept designs for, this is another bank. So going into all the finishing details and the renderings, the color that we will use in the stand, the way that you design the layout. So it's a whole set of technicalities. We not only do design, but we also do sometimes design adaptations, because some companies have their own designs, but they would like us to have them doing some changes in the design, to do some adaptations depending on the different layouts that they have. But so also sometimes they ask us to go into the production. So this is where also we produce. So this is, for example, a shop that we did not work on the design, but we work on the execution side, which is the complete fit out of the whole shop for Paul and Sharp. So we can do the whole shop, but sometimes we see you are required to produce furnitures. So this is where those are very high-end furnitures that we did for a major brand that is Burberry. And those furnitures are also sent abroad. So it's not only things that we produce for Lebanon, but we can also produce for exporting outside the country. So what we do in that section, we do a lot of designs work for outside. So this is where we can help your network selling designs. And also we could, since Lebanon is being very competitive in terms of price range because of the devaluation of our currency and the low level of cost, mainly for salaries, we are able to be to have very high-end production capacities and to deliver high-end quality products. So this is all what was related to design and architectural design. The second part is more related to consumer engagement. So usually on the local side, we have a lot of brand ambassadors. So we do merchandising services. But for the international side, what we do is what we call mystery e-shoppers. That is mainly divided in different categories. One being to test your customer service online, which is most online businesses have their online visibility. It could be on their website or on the social media. And we act as mystery shopper to test the client servicing of their online platform. So, for example, on the contact form, how they reply, how fast they reply, if the reply is done at the right time. So we go through all the requirements and we test it remotely. But we also do some assess reaction on the website and on the social media. But we sometimes can work as brand consultants because some companies have global presence and they would require an e-consultant that would help a client that is in remote areas in other countries, talking different languages and having a different culture. So they would be happy to have a consultant that knows the language or fits with the culture of their client. So this
very
is
impressive.
They will ask us to support actually their customers in the regions where we are located in.
Excellent.
So, I tried to squeeze my presentation within the allocated time frame, but I hope I am still in the timing that was allocated.
You'll need to wrap up, yeah, for sure. How can we help you?
So the main our main concern is to find clients abroad, because the clients that we have locally are facing financial difficulties, problems.
Okay.
And the way for us to be able to sustain is to get clients from abroad that will help us export or sell our services to your countries.
Okay, very understandable. We do have some questions for you, but we'll save them for the end. Thank you for your time today. Very impressive work. Congratulations. Since 1997, you've made a lot of progress.
Thank you.
I think next, Naji, you mentioned, I think George is going next, right? With Albert Massaad.
But yes, it is Albert Massaad, yes.
Okay, sorry about that.
Serge, you need to unmute your mic. Serge.
Voila, can you hear me?
Go ahead.
Okay, I'm going to start with a small presentation. Can you see it?
We can. History, 1950.
Okay, so the company started in the 50s as a steel furniture manufacturer. Very soon, two lines of products were created: office furniture and medical furniture for the local market. Slowly but surely, the company expanded. In 2001, a state-of-the-art plant was built north of Beirut. The first mobile shelving system produced by Albert Massaad was born. Since 2007, we have ISO certifications for quality and environment. In addition to that, our mobile shelving products, MobiCab, are certified safe to use by the GS2 body, which enables us to export this product all over the world. We are a family business, and we celebrated 50 years of success in 2013. So next year is 60 years. Mobile shelving is designed to optimize storage space. With it, you can almost double your storage space or quadruple it in case of double-decker, like you can see here. Every project is customized and designed by our team of engineers, and all parts are manufactured internally. The system can be electrical. You can store anything you imagine, from armchairs to cabinets to paintings, and of course, books and archives. Mobile shelving is our main product among a various line of other steel products. Now I'm gonna shift to a small video. And here we go.
I'm CEO of Albert Massaad SRL. The company was founded in the 1950s by my father. The activity of this company was the industry in the metal furniture. We had to move to all big institutions and explain and describe the product and describe the benefits of this product to these big institutions. Since its foundation, Albert Massaad has sustained its commitment to technical excellence. All of our systems and processes are integrated into a complete framework, enabling us to work as a single unit with unified objectives. We are improving day by day in creating new technologies. This continuous pursuit for excellency has made Albert Massaad more dynamic and innovative in meeting the challenges posed by technology and increasing competition. Our company specializes in metal furniture and also in office furniture.
I'm responsible of the office furniture department. In 2004, we created Division, a company fully dedicated to office furniture. A specialized design team helped our clients with ideal solutions for their working spaces. Today, Office Division gives a full solution for the working space, from ergonomic office chairs to public lounge, from executive desk to operation workstations. Of course, we have a full solution for the archiving space, as Albert Massaad Group manufactures the mobile shelving system, Mobicar, and sell it in Lebanon and all around the world. Although we are almost 60 years old, we are a young-minded company and proud of it. We are open to new ideas and enthusiastic about innovation. We promote a positive, encouraging, fun environment. I'm the responsible of the medical division at Albert Massaad. From wheelchairs, beds, bathroom, to accessibility into a building, all technical aids to give more autonomy and independence are available in our store or product line. At Albert Massaad, we do not compromise. The security and safety of the user is a high priority.
So here it is. I think my time is up.
Thank you very much. Really great video, great presentation. Thank you for sharing. I believe now we just have one more presentation. Actually, I'd like to do two things, and then we'll have a Q&A session. We're definitely going to go beyond an hour. So sorry about that, but at least you'll all hear the 6 companies within the first hour, and hopefully many of you can stay for the Q&A session. I'd also like to insert another thing, Naji, if you don't mind. After the next presentation, could you just give us kind of a lay of the land within Lebanon? What is the business community like? What are some things to think about in doing business there, either culturally or other issues that we should know about? Just to give you a quick heads up, because I think that would be helpful for the viewers as well. So I think the next speaker is Rafiq with equality. And then we'll go to Naji, and then we'll open up the floor for questions. Rafiq, please go ahead.
First, thanks everyone, and I apologize for the coarse voice. I've been hit with COVID, so I'll try to be as loud as I can.
It sounds good. Sorry to hear that.
Great. So thanks again for the Global Chamber and Outerpond for the opportunity. So basically, I lead a company called Equality. Far from being around for the past 16 years like Albert Massaad, we've been around for the past 7 years, so we're relatively young. Basically, what we specialize in is in the development of IT solutions only for the CPG industry, the consumer packaged good industry, or FMCG as it is known in most European part of the world. Most of our solutions have been deployed regionally in 12 countries to date, be it in the Levant, the GCC, and the North African region. This is just to say that we understand that there are different, cultural barriers whenever you deploy IT solutions worldwide. And fundamentally, the most difficult thing is any IT solution out there is user resistance to change. People are resistant to change, and we understand that. And so in every solution that we develop, we try to make sure that this is addressed through, first of all, making sure that all of our products are localized. This is extremely important. They have to work in the expectation and the language of the country that will be using our products. Second, any product that we develop, whenever there's dashboards and analytics involved, we understand that different people belonging to different part of the organizational chart would like to read things differently, even though the underlying data could be the same. So we understand that need, and we make sure that in the solutions that we develop, this is also addressed. We take support extremely importantly, and For that matter, all of our support staff are multilingual and they work off hours to make sure that we cater for the different time zones of our customers and sometimes for the different, weekdays of the customers. On a last note, I would like to say that regardless of the person whom we're interacting with within the customer space, it's very important to build a direct rapport with all of our end users. Everybody has something interesting to say, and we take that feedback and we loop it into our development model. And this is what makes us, in a sense, able to evolve our products because we listen to everybody in the organizational chart. These are some of the companies who we work with. Again, in the CPG industry, you're working with suppliers and manufacturers, and you're working also with distributors. We understand the business model of each, and we understand that sometimes, there's a conflict between these two types of companies, and we try to navigate and making sure that we add value to both these universes. Again, these are some of the names that could be known to you in the States, mostly relevant here in the area itself. Our applications are used by more than 6,000 concurrent users, mostly to track and act on over what we call 50 product categories. So basically anything that you buy off the shelf in the retail industry today would belong to a product category. We touch base on more than 50 of these and spanning over 900 brands. This is just to show you a bit the breadth of the capabilities of our systems when it comes to handling volume of data. Today at Equality, we have three main solutions. Chief among our solutions is called iSquare. Fundamentally, in that industry, suppliers and distributors would like to make sure that whatever strategy they have for the retail chain, they want to make sure that that strategy is properly implemented in the trade. So one way of doing so is by monitoring and auditing the trade and making sure that all the KPIs that are relevant to that industry are indeed properly implemented versus target, versus competition, and versus expectations. So iSquare is all about that. It's all about minimizing that gap between the strategies that these companies have and their execution at every point of sale in the market. The second product that we have is called ICE. It's all about enabling these people to build proper sales and investment budgets. The typical approach today for people, whenever they want to build a sales budget is to leverage spreadsheets. We understand that there's a lot of pain involved whenever you want to leverage spreadsheets because you have to tie in whatever money you plan on basically investing in the trade and whatever sales you end up generating. So being able to mirror these two in one platform is extremely difficult. We've been able to put it off through the product that we sell, which is called ICE. That's the second product. And the third and final product that we have is all about customer surveying. If you're running any promotion in the trade today or any campaign to activate a certain product or any tasting and sampling activity, you would like to be able to monitor the performance of that activity, and you would do so using this product, which is called Tori. I would like to use the remaining couple of slides that I have just to quickly talk about iSquare in particular and how it works. Fundamentally, when you want to track the KPIs in the trade, you have a team deployed. So suppliers and distributors, typically they have teams in the trade responsible for merchandising their products on the shelf. These would be the people who would be collecting data using our application. So that would be step number one. And then whatever data that was collected from the trade is basically exposed in the form of dashboards for the executives and the managers to read and to take actions upon. It's a simple two-step process for collecting data and reading data from the trade. Second, you understand that, given the fast-paced environments our people work in, it's important sometimes to push relevant information to the people as opposed to having them go and pull it out from the dashboards. In that sense, we give the capability to our users to create what we call notification rules, allowing them to basically automatically receive updates whenever something's major or important that they would like to know about in the trade. It's for them to take action. So there's a major difference between having to manually pull that information versus systems pushing it to you. And this has tremendous value in making sure you react quickly to changes that happen in the trade. Also, as equally important is for executives who understand that their time is limited. So what iSquare does is that it gives them via email a summary report, a PDF summary report of their performance in the trade across the various KPIs that matter to them. So they don't have to go and access the dashboards and dig deep to understand, their macro performance. Instead, we automatically generate a PDF file, attach it to their email inbox, and then they would receive it at the end of every month for them to get a quick understanding of how they're performing. Lastly, I would like to say that all of our systems, they keep evolving. They're SaaS-based, meaning they're online, they're hosted, and any update that we have is automatically funneled down to all of our clients. And this is an example of something that's coming soon, which is the gamification component. It's about introducing gaming elements to a business environment, to entice people to use our solutions more, to use them better, because at the end of the day, they're going to get rewarded. I tried to squeeze as much as I could within the 5 minutes that was allocated to me. I'm sure there are going to be more questions. Please feel free to jump right into it.
Appreciate that. Thank you very much. That brings us to the end of the program. So we're right into an hour at this point. So here's what my suggestion is. Naji, it would be great to hear some thoughts that you have around just in the business, and just if you would be open to it, just take a few minutes to give us some framework there, if you're open to it. And then let's open the floor. I would suggest, just for everybody's time and time management, that we not go past 25 after the hour with the questions. Let's try to keep answers succinct. And if you have an opportunity to ask a question, just kind of come in and ask your question, and we'll keep it very, very tight, or as tight as possible. Naji, would you be open just to saying a few words about Lebanon and doing business there, and any other kind of macro or micro, depending on how you'd like to share, doing business there and what we should keep in mind?
Basically, let's go beyond the stereotypes and what the media is covering. If you go on CNN, it's always doom and gloom. If you take a look at the COVID side of things, it's always a pandemic, we're all going to die. Well, you have fantastic farmers that have created vaccines. The Lebanese are kind of like this. I mean, yes, we were hit by viruses all over the place, wars, economic meltdown and things like this. But intrinsically, I believe we are resilient, and we do have our common DNA that helps us to grow and keep looking positively at what's next. And I mean, the companies that have presented here, they're really world standard. So they do work with multinationals. Evidently, every single individual who is part of those companies are multilingual. They're open to the world, very well educated. Their products are top products. So this is really, in a nutshell, what Lebanon is all about. So go beyond, if you want, the stereotype of sensationalism about, political headlines and the country crumbling down. Yes, there is an economic crisis, but remember also that Argentina went through this, so we're not the only one. We're going to, again, go against the tide, as we usually do, and stay open for business. So this is what we're all about. Looking forward to having all these companies benefiting from your network, the connections, and the possibility for them also to start connecting with your members, to start exporting their goods, and to create also awareness about the fact that Lebanese businesses, I mean, Lebanon will always be open for business, whether in Lebanon or abroad. That's what it's all about.
That's great. And to the connecting point for each one of the companies, I've listed at least one connection that I'll be making. And I've already seen through emails, Cesar has been busy connecting people to other people. So that is what it is all about, from our perspective. I see several people in the rooms, in our room, that I would like to call on, and some of you have already asked questions. I see Ruby and Roberto, you've already asked a question. I'd like to come back to you. And Catherine Reed, if you're still around. I know you've asked a question. Catherine is based in Austria. She has experience in the region and helping companies go from the region into all parts of the world. Catherine, are you still there? And is there a question or comment that you would like to make? You'll need to unmute if you're available.
Hi, Doug. Yes, thank you. I'm still here. It
Oh,
just
great.
wouldn't let me unmute, first of all. So, I was just going to ask that those people who are looking for export markets, that they actually say if there are some markets that they're already working with, so that we can actually think about which markets additionally would be useful for them.
So I think one particular question was with Rima, with Jardin D'Eden.
Yes. Yes.
Garden of Eden, I believe, right, in French. And so
Yes.
Renee or Rima, if you're still on the line, could you address that question? And I think for all of you, whether it's now
I think
or
it was actually already addressed in the chat.
Okay.
Yeah.
So just quickly, in general, I think we're, as for our business, Jardin D'Eden, we're open to any suggestions really to any market that would fit with what we're looking for. We're happy to start discussions, and see where it leads.
Okay, that's a great open-minded answer. So what do you think about that, Catherine? Do you have some thoughts already, or?
Yeah, I do actually, because I have a friend who recently relocated to France and who is setting up a business in e-commerce and who is looking to specialize on Lebanese products.
Well, that's a specialty. That's an interesting fit. Okay.
So it might be an interesting fit.
Okay, very interesting. Well, thank you for sharing. Anything else you'd like to comment on while we have you?
I don't think so. Other than I seriously am missing getting to Lebanon. But that's...
What's stopping you? Is it COVID?
At the moment, I don't have a business project that would justify me flying. So I haven't been to Lebanon, I guess, since the pandemic started.
Okay, well, let's see if we can change that. Thank you for attending today. Catherine is a member of Global Chamber, and she recently spoke at an exporter tips and techniques event that we have. It's in our blog post. If you're interested in just general information about business and making connections to the global tribe, you can go to the blog post, and it's all free. Some great presentations, including Catherine's feedback. It was about a month or so ago on 2022 tips for growing your business internationally. Thanks, Catherine, for all you do. Appreciate it.
So Catherine, sorry, Doug. Catherine, you're more welcome to Lebanon. Make sure you let us know you're coming. We'll take good care of you. Don't believe everything you hear on the news. Try to hear it from us personally.
No, I certainly do. I'm in contact with a few Lebanese friends who give me the details of what's really going down on the ground. But it was always the same, always bad things in the news, but it looks different when you really visit.
Yep, absolutely. I've got a couple folks else I want to reach out to, and Ruby Golo, I don't know if you're available to chat, but I want to make sure that everybody knows about you. We really haven't talked about the African market, but one of our leaders in Africa is Ruby Golo, who's the executive director of Global Chamber Accra. Ruby, do you have a moment just to introduce yourself and ask any question or make a comment?
Let me just pull off. I'm just driving. Hello, everyone. Sorry I joined late. I just want to say that there's a lot going on in Africa at the moment. So anyone interested to explore our continent, please do reach out to me. I have put my contact details in the chat. I'll be happy to talk to individuals that will be interested in our markets. Thank you, Doug.
My pleasure. Ruby is a great gateway into Africa. for Global Chamber, and she just won the Executive Director of the Year for Regional Leadership. We have a variety of activity in Africa. We just did yesterday an event with Global Chamber Nairobi that covered all of the business in Kenya, and we have some French-speaking activities coming up. The French-speaking countries, we have an event coming up next month, and so I encourage you to stay engaged with Africa and look there for markets, both for importing and exporting. Roberto, I know you had multiple questions. We can't get to all of them probably, but if you're still there, is there one or two questions that you'd like to ask?
Yes, thank you, Doug. First of all, thank you, Doug, and thank you, the Global Chamber in Beirut, for organizing this very, very interesting meeting. Is very interesting. One of the we have worked in helping companies from all over the world bringing products to the US since 1981. So we've been around the block a couple of times. One of the most important elements for any one of you that I really want to underline is this: the American consumer tolerates only optimal customer service and on-time shipments. One of the biggest challenges we have found in our company, we had over probably 1,000 customers internationally, clients. One of the biggest challenge is the continuous provision of products on a timely basis. For example, we're very interested in the cages, very interesting. Aromatherapy, we worked with one of the most successful aromatherapy company in the US. And design, I'm very impressed by the design that we saw today. And then the control on KPIs. So I would say I'll be in touch with every one of you, but please know that if you want to do business with the US, it takes a considerable amount of effort, time, but then the rewards are awesome. So thank you for being here today, and thank you, Doug.
Oh, thank you. Professor Roberto Ansis, who's just published a book with his wife. And so definitely take a look at that. We have a book author series within Global Chamber. He's originally from, are you originally from Milan?
No, I'm actually from Florence, but I forgive you.
Okay. So for the Italian market, Professor Ansis is also very knowledgeable, and he has a team and company there as well. So whether it's Italy or the US or
Germany,
really anywhere in the world,
well.
you work everywhere.
Yeah, that's the secret of international business today. There is no more domestic business. But again, shipment and continuity of supply chain is one of the most important elements, as all of us are experiencing these days.
Fantastic. Thank you.
Thank you,
Definitely someone you should have on your contact point. And the last person I wanted to reach out, hopefully she's still here. So I wanted to thank Mary, Mary Henningsen. You don't need to speak, or if you'd like to, I would love that. You made the original introduction between myself and Naji. So I want to thank you for that, because that really kind of kicked off all of this. So thank you for your knowledge and your leadership as well. And if you'd love to say something, or if you'd like to say something, just unmute yourself and jump in. Otherwise, I'd like to open up the floor for everybody. So please just go ahead and unmute yourself and ask your question and proceed. Please go ahead. Don't be shy. Does anybody have a question?
I have a comment, if possible. Hello from Canada. I'm in Vancouver on the West Coast. Just my name is Nimor Friedman. I just want to say that in general, the North America market is looking for alternatives for China, because the whole 2 years and the lockdown, they're trying to diversify where they're shipping from. And I think maybe Middle East, Lebanon will be a great location to bring things to Canada and US, and your products are very align really well, especially with the Canadian market that are looking for more sustainable products, natural products. So I think that would be a great market. And if you're interested, I'm happy to connect you with people that can help you ship and expand to this market. Personally, my company does, it's my news channel, and we create video shows, news shows for businesses. And I think in our last episode, I'll share it here, we did talk about reshoring and finding more diversified shipping to the North American market. Thank you.
Really important concept and definitely a mega trend for when you say North America, really Canada, US, Mexico. Mexico in particular is seeing a lot of production being shifted to Mexico from Asia, but the overall macro mega part of aspect of that, of having sourcing from Lebanon, you know, in this particular case, would be a very strong positive relative to everything else. Limor, thank you for all that you do and your work with Global Chamber as well. And so thank you for sharing the link as well. Any questions? Who would like to go next? And I see Mary is driving, so she can't unmute herself. She doesn't have the flexibility that Ruby had to pull over. So thank you, Mary. Who's next?
Yes, I wanted to mention something. I mean, following up on what Limor said, I had a talk with Serge a couple of days ago, and he did mention the fact that because of the sourcing problems that has been, you know, due to the pandemic, especially out of China, Lebanon could be a very good alternative. He was mentioning his own products. I mean, you've seen what Albert Massaad and company are capable of, but also the remaining companies. And whether you want to do business in the Middle East, obviously you've got a great law firm with Khatar and Associates. So Serge, if you want to mention something about sourcing products from Lebanon, you just need to unmute and just tell us your perspective.
Actually, we have an order, an ongoing order now for Canada. It's a tools trolley. It's a full container of tools trolley, because their old supplier couldn't deliver on time, and the shipping is a, you know, catastrophe. So we came in and we sent a sample, and now we're selling to Canada.
That's fantastic. Congratulations on that. So definitely something for all of you to think about in terms of sourcing.
I can see this, Serge, because I'm in this business as well. So I see lots of companies are struggling, especially with the furniture and office furniture and all those type of storage solutions. The shipping is taking 3-4 months, and people are, and here in Canada, especially in Canada, in our area, there is a big boost of buildings and new developments. So I think that will be great market for you. If you, I don't know if you are able to actually secure fast shipping, then you know it's sold. That's it. It's done. If you're telling people here, I'll send the product in less than 30 days. It's, you know, deal done. That's it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I don't know if Antoine, you would like to add to anything to that, because I know you spend a lot of time in Canada as well.
Thank you. In fact, it's just to reiterate the message about the sourcing. And I know that several companies now in Canada are exploring the idea of sourcing from the Middle East rather than from China. If you look at the difference in time and the cost that is increasing, it's becoming more interesting now to source from Lebanon, for example. And I know someone who did already source some furnitures, just to reiterate what Limor said, who is now ordering some furniture out of Beirut rather than out of China. The cost of the good on location is higher. However, with the cost and the facility of now transporting out of Beirut rather than China, it becomes even more beneficial and more economic. So this is something to explore and to look at.
That sounds good. Thank you for sharing that. I see Nihi down in Nigeria. Nihi's a member of Global Chamber. I know you and your team work across the region and the globe. And so I don't know if you'd like to introduce yourself, but feel free to do that if you're available to chat.
Thank you, everyone. My name is Niyi Sanusi. I'm a lawyer in Nigeria. I have a question for the companies that showcase. Is the African market such, I mean, Ruby has talked a bit about it, but I just wanted to clarify how much of interest is the African market to the companies available. Nigeria, I know, has a very large group of Lebanese citizens in the country. There's a huge Lebanese community. In fact, there's a part of Nigeria called part of the northern part of Nigeria called the Beirut Road. My dad used to have an office there, so I'm quite familiar with the Lebanese that when I was growing up, I was. But I just wanted to have an idea how much of interest is the African market in general to those companies before we go into specific. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Nihi. Appreciate that. Interesting. Does anybody have any comment about that? Do any of you have interest in doing business in Africa?
Sure, they all do, but probably they're all shy. I'm pretty sure whether manufacturing or marketing or aromatherapy, art cages. And Rafi, come on, I know you were hit by COVID, but I mean, aren't you interested to enter the Nigerian market?
Most definitely, Nia and Najm, thanks for the hookup. We are indeed, I mean, we do have some clients, mostly in the northern part of Africa today. Yes, definitely we'll be interested in working in Nigeria. The fundamental difficulty lies in understanding, first of all, the market specifics and making sure that we have a solution offering, that could really be attractive for that particular market. But more definitely, I would love for us to reconnect and see, I mean, ways of collaborating on that specific market. Any business is good for us. We're not going to shy away from new business. That's definitely the purpose of why we're here. It's all a matter of making sure that we have the right product for the right market and for the right price.
And of course, Ni, as a Lebanese law firm, we would like really appreciate it if we could collaborate with you, as you being based in Nigeria and us in Lebanon. And as you mentioned, there's this very big Lebanese diaspora in Nigeria, so I'm sure there is room for collaboration between our law firms.
That's wonderful. You'll see if you go to the Global Chamber page in LinkedIn, you'll see Nihi there a few months ago. And he had a kind of a famous quote, at least very deep in my heart. It was, I've been in LinkedIn for my entire life, but in 2 weeks at Global Chamber, I've met more good people in those 2 weeks than in my entire life in LinkedIn. So he's a very reputable and very honest and very capable leader in Nigeria, and definitely somebody that you should work with. So thank you. Appreciate that. We are now right up to kind of my own arbitrary deadline of about 25 after. So I think unless there's something really pressing, I'd like to go to Naji to maybe do a wrap up. What have you heard, Naji? What should we be taking away? And then any additional thoughts on what next steps are?
What I would like to hear is maybe a few of your participants coming up with their own feedback, whether it be Professor Limor, Catherine. You've talked about your Lebanese friends, so you could do it again. But instead of me telling you and selling Lebanon, I mean, it might be a much better way of seeing Lebanon through other people's eyes, and whether their image has evolved or whether they feel much better about Lebanese companies. So I leave the floor to all of you guys and ladies to talk about this, if you don't mind.
I must say that I was totally authentically impressed today by the level of professionalism of everyone that has been on today's call. Now, the Global Chamber is a wonderful organization and they do a spectacular job. Doug is an incredible presenter, competent, and although he was one of my competitors 30, 40 years ago in Italy, working for an opposite company, but I am very impressed. And if I can be of assistance to any one of you with a product or service that makes sense, I'll be here. I mean, that's what the purpose of the chamber is. But again, congratulations for your professionalism today. There's no doubt that you will be successful, but be careful with the continuity of your service and production to the US, because you may spend a lot of time to create a customer, but then with the glitch of service, you may actually disappear. So if you commit time and resources to entering the US, you'll be successful. There's no doubt in my mind. Thank you again.
Thank you, Roberto.
Anybody else? If I may, it's Mark Higgins.
Yes, Mark.
Yeah, just to say, I think I'm a little bit biased because of the 25 countries I worked in my international career, Lebanon was my favorite. And not just because of the hospitality of the people, but also I think if you're going to engage with the Lebanese company, I think at the time when I was working there, there were more Lebanese outside of Lebanon than there was actually working in Lebanon. And so there's this wonderful network of Lebanese people around the world that, you know, if you're going to engage with a Lebanese company, I guess it opens up for other businesses. But also I'd like to say that whenever I traveled to a different company, I went with the perception, and the perception was always wrong. And I think it's been mentioned several times on the call today that, you know, the perception that we see here in the UK, for example, of the state of the Lebanese economy, et cetera, I've already heard today that that's probably not the case, although there will be elements of truth, of course, but, you know, business is still being done and it's an open country. So I just wanted to put that point.
Really good points. Thank you. Tell us, what is it that you do?
Doug, I used to be a former international trade advisor for Department for International, well, I worked to Department for International Trade rather than for Department of International Trade. But before that, I was a telecoms engineer with British Telecom. And for example, in Lebanon, I flew into Lebanon and selected a supplier for our node in Lebanon, in Beirut. So, and then worked with that supplier to bring develop the node and bring it online. And I did that in countries all around the world. I've worked as a mechanical engineer and many other different jobs as well. But I ended my career as an international trade advisor, and primarily the work I did there was with the British Embassy in Lebanon. There's a very good team there that are underused in my view, but primarily working with security companies in Lebanon. So we had companies, cybersecurity companies and physical security companies. One of the companies I worked with was looking for a Lebanese partner, for example, to provide security services across the borders. So that's how I ended my career. But it's
okay. Very good. Thank you for sharing today. Anybody else would like to share? And hearing none, and given that we're at the bottom of the hour, so I would like to wrap it up. I'd like to speak for the next, hear from you for the next few hours, but we do need to finish up. This is the beginning, not an ending. The Global Chamber Beirut is now starting officially today, and so we'll be moving forward, and we'll be in touch with everybody with the blog post, with the video, and then with other additional activities throughout 2022. I'll be coordinating with Naji. So Naji, again, thank you for your collaboration and leadership in all that you do, and look forward to working with you going forward and helping these companies and other companies be more successful going forward. At Global Chamber, we have constant activities. We expect 600 events this year, and hopefully more than just one. I would expect several that we do that are related to Lebanese companies. You know, let's be successful, reach the world. There's no reason why news, you know, and how the news media treats, whether it's Lebanon or any country or any group, unfairly, let that be a barrier to success. At the end, it's become an issue of people to people. And we've clearly you've been able to demonstrate today that, you know, we can easily do business with all of you. And so let's do that. Naji, any last words before we close the room?
Goes to you, really, Amin, and to Cesar, the fantastic work that you guys are doing. This is our first event. Certainly, it won't be the last. And at Outerpond, we're really looking forward to, bringing all the Lebanese businesses and talents closer to international markets. And with a closer cooperation with Global Chamber, I'm pretty sure we're going to be able to do this. So thanks a million, and I would like to thank every one of you. I mean, all the participants from the different corners of the world. It's heartwarming to see that everyone jumped in, and we're looking forward to next events and successful ones too. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Thank you to Cesar for pulling all of this off in terms of the logistics, getting everybody's information together. He'll be a key part of going forward. Cesar, is there anything else that you would like to say in terms of the next step?
Yeah, I just put Lebanon in my list to visit for the coming years for sure. Hearing amazing things for the country is cool. And thanks everyone for the presentations. And I've been connecting some of you, and we have the list with the emails, and I will be sharing again the recording with the presentations.
Very
Thanks.
good.
Thank you again, Cesar.
Is that Mexico or Puerto Rico behind you?
This is Ponce, Puerto Rico behind me, yes.
Okay. And as many of you know, maybe all of you, Cesar is based in Ponce, Puerto Rico. So, but he's worked, in fact, just got back from Mexico. So we have a very strong Latin American presence. We didn't really talk about Latin America today or Asia very much at all, but those are places, obviously, that Global Chamber has presence. And so we look forward to working with you on all of you in those areas as well. Check out LinkedIn. Over the next several days, you'll be seeing materials, from this meeting going forward. And then certainly, I would imagine by next week, we'll have a blog post up with the recording as well. Take care, everybody. Have a great rest of your day and a good weekend as well. Take care.
Thank you, Doug. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Naji.
Thanks all.
Bye-bye. Thank you. Take care. Bye.
Stay safe.